Diane Arbus was an American photographer, best known for her photographs of people on the margins of society, including circus performers, transgender people, and individuals with physical or intellectual disabilities. Her portraits of marginalized or unconventional people challenged traditional notions of beauty and conformity, and her distinctive style continues to inspire and provoke contemporary artists to this day. So, without further ado, let's shine the spotlight onto Diane Arbus. Diane Arbus was born Diane Nemerov on March 14, 1923, in New York City. Her parents, David and Gertrude Nemerov, were wealthy and well-connected with ties to the art world. Her father was a businessman and a poet, and her mother was a painter. Arbus grew up in a privileged environment, attending private schools and spending summers in the Hamptons. Her journey into photography was one that was marked by various influences and events in her life. In 1936, she met Diane Arbus, who was working in the advertising department at her father's department store, Russik's. Alan was a creative individual who shared a passion for the arts with Diane. They fell in love and were married in 1941. Alan played a significant role in shaping Diane's interest in photography. He bought her first camera, and he even turned their bathroom into a darkroom, enabling her to develop her own photographs. In the 1940s, Diane and Alan worked together as fashion photographers. Diane's talent for designing and styling the fashion models and Alan's expertise in photography and darkroom development made them a formidable team. Their work quickly caught the attention of major fashion publications such as Vogue, Glamour, and Harper's Bazaar, which brought them into the same league as other prominent names in fashion photography, like Richard Avedon and Irving Penn. Despite their success, Diane's passion for photography went beyond the world of fashion. She enrolled in classes with the famous photographer Bernice Abbott, who was known for her documentary style. Abbott's influence on Arbus's work was evident as she began to take an interest in photographing the people around her. She longed to be able to photograph subjects on her own terms, rather than just working as a glorified stylist. In 1956, she decided to start studying photography under the famous American photographer Lisette Modell. This decision turned out to be a pivotal moment for Diane, as it helped her find a new sense of purpose and dedication to her craft. As a result, she made the difficult decision to leave the photography firm that she had established with Alan and strike out on her own. It was a new beginning for Diane, and ultimately one that would lead to her becoming one of the most important photographers of the 20th century. In 1959, Alan and Diane separated, which turned out to be another turning point in Diane's life. She found a renewed sense of purpose for her personal work and decided to make some changes. Despite the challenges of being a single mother, Diane managed to scrape together a living for herself and her two daughters through commercial work with publications, most notably Esquire magazine. This magazine was known for its new journalism that employed literary techniques to enhance reporting, and it gave Diane a unique opportunity to develop her artistic voice. Diane's passion for photography enabled her to shed her uptight persona as the well-educated, privileged spouse and embrace her desires for creative self-expression, untethered from the confines of her affluent upbringing. And this is the part where I need to mention that she had this insatiable curiosity for the unconventional and the unusual. She was drawn to subjects that allowed her to indulge her morbid fascinations and give voice to the underrepresented. She was drawn to the fringes of society and to those who were often dismissed as freaks or outcasts. One of the places that piqued her interest was Hubert's Museum, a freak show located in Times Square. This area was known for its hedonism and was generally not frequented by women. But for Arbus, it was a safe space where she could observe and study the unique humans that were on display. She was fascinated by the performers, including sword swallowers and snake charmers. The experience gave her a taste of what was to come as she continued to seek out subjects who lived on the margins of society. In her photographic career, Arbus ventured into the worlds of bodybuilder competitions, beauty contests, and youth gang meetings. These were all events where voyeurism was encouraged, and Arbus used her camera to capture the essence of these subcultures. Driven by her inquisitive nature, Arbus embarked on a quest to explore an uncharted realm, having grown up in a world far removed from the outside reality. She once remarked about her privileged upbringing that the outside world was so far from us, and this led her to develop a deep kinship with the underrepresented, the misunderstood, and the strange. Despite labeling them freaks, Arbus regarded her subjects with reverence, seeing them as individuals who had endured life's toughest tests and emerged as nobles. According to Arbus, these people had already been tested by life in ways that most others could never imagine. These same individuals, often ostracized by society, became the object of fascination and wonder through her photography. She was vocal about feeling like an outsider within her own community, finding comfort in capturing the essence of individuals on the margins of society. Channeling her frustration and sense of alienation into her art, she gravitated toward the unconventional, seeking to portray more than just a likeness. Through multiple visits over time, she established a rapport with her subjects, often forging deep connections and friendships. What I'm trying to describe is that it's impossible to get out of your skin and into somebody else's, she once wrote, recognizing that the tragedy of others cannot be fully understood by someone else. Her body of work reflects a deliberate exploration of contrast between those on the fringes and those well integrated into society. Her vision transformed her subjects into visual spectacles, irrespective of who they were. Her images of socialites, American families, and children convey a sense of grotesqueness, highlighting the extravagance of living as a man covered head to toe in tattoos, alongside the pursuit of the typical suburban American dream. For Diane, these individuals were not the objects of pity or scorn, but rather they represented the resilience and strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. She wanted to challenge people's assumptions of what was considered to be normal and beautiful, and she wanted to offer a different perspective on the human experience. In doing so, she hoped to inspire empathy and understanding. Diane Arbus's work was deeply intertwined with her personal life, and her relationships often influenced her art. Her longing for new experiences and variety reflected her dissatisfaction with life's mundanity. She craved a deeper, more meaningful existence, something that would make her feel truly alive. Now, Arbus found validation and self-fulfillment through photography, approaching her work with a sense of urgency and purpose. In her own words, the condition of photographing is maybe the condition of being on the brink of conversion to anything. Diane Arbus faced a long-standing battle with depression that plagued her with bouts of extreme sadness and anxiety, causing significant disruption to her creative process. She additionally suffered from insomnia, which worsened her mental health issues. As a photographer, Diane felt a tremendous responsibility to give voice to the underprivileged and overlooked. However, the weight of this responsibility, coupled with the challenging nature of her work, weighed heavily on her psyche. She also struggled with feelings of isolation and estrangement from her own family and from the art world at large. Despite the toll that her depression took on her, Arbus's artistic vision was deeply informed by her emotional struggles. Her work is a reflection of her profound empathy and ability to capture the complexities of the human experience, even in its most trying moments. The life and photography of Diane Arbus are still subjects of debate and uncertainty. Her short, turbulent life led to a portfolio of work that has been both celebrated for its compassion and criticized for its objectification. Some scholars and journalists have attempted to explain her work as a result of her supposed deviancy, citing rumors of incestuous relations with her brother, but the true nature of her art remains elusive. Critics have argued that her work reinforces a sense of otherness and can be seen as voyeuristic. Her portraits of marginalized people, such as circus performers and individuals with disabilities, are accused of dehumanizing and objectifying them. However, others contend that her work offers a powerful critique of societal norms and challenges viewers to confront their own prejudices and biases. Diane Arbus's photography has also been scrutinized for issues of consent. Critics argue that some of her subjects may not have fully understood the implications of being photographed or were unable to give informed consent due to age, mental state, or any number of other factors. Some have accused Diane of exploiting her subjects without regard for their privacy or their dignity. And on the other hand, defenders of her work claim that she approached her subjects with empathy and respect. She often built relationships with them over time, fostering trust and mutual understanding. The issue of consent in photography is a complex one, and opinions vary widely. Some believe the photographers should obtain explicit consent from their subjects, while others prioritize capturing candid moments and emotion. The debate around consent in Arbus's work reflects broader questions about the ethics of documentary photography and the responsibility of artists who work with marginalized communities. Despite the ongoing controversy and mystique surrounding Diane's work, retrospective exhibitions of her photography remain popular and receive critical acclaim. The lasting fascination with her life and her work is a testament to her impact on the world of photography and how we perceive ourselves and others. In conclusion, Diane Arbus was a photographer who defied convention and challenged our notions of beauty, normalcy, and identity. Through her unflinching portraits, she captured the humanity and complexity of the human experience in all of its rawness and vulnerability. She was a visionary artist who sought to break down barriers and expose the hidden truths of our society, and her work continues to inspire and provoke us to this day. Her photos reveal not only the lives of her subjects, but her own inner world as she was grappling with issues of identity and empathy and belonging. Her images are all at once haunting and beautiful, disturbing and captivating, and they continue to resonate with us long after we've looked away. In the end, Diane Arbus's legacy is one of courage, creativity, and uncompromising honesty. She dared to show us the world as it truly is, and in doing so, she changed the way that we see ourselves and see each other. And so I encourage all of you out there to take these lessons that Diane can teach us and apply it to your own work, or better yet, to your own life in general. Because Diane teaches us that everyone has a story, and that you should never judge a book by its cover. She teaches us that we should humanize the marginalized and embrace vulnerability. Her work serves as a powerful reminder that empathy and understanding are keys to building a more just and compassionate society. By taking time to truly see and understand others, we can develop a greater sense of connection and appreciation for the rich diversity of the human experience. I'll leave this video with some more photos by Diane Arbus. I want to thank everyone who has been liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe, and go ahead and let me know which photographers you would like to see me cover on this channel. And with that, I'll see you all next time.